An idol group with a difference. And produced by Ado? Nope, this is for real. We're going back into Ado's world with her new project. In this episode of Otaku Files, we talk about Phantom Siita. Most of us outside of Japan may not be aware of some of the more interesting personalities within the Japanese otaku landscape, so I thought I'd do a little video series and try to shed some light on these individuals. This is Otaku Files. On October 31st, 2023, Ado made the surprise announcement on her X account that she was going to be an idol producer and was looking for members. She also revealed that the assigned song for the audition would be Tot Musica, a song off of her album Uta no Uta, One Piece Film Red. FYI, the song was composed by the one and only Sawano Hiroyuki. By the way, on the off chance that you don't know who Ado is, be sure to check out the video I did on her where I also talk about this album. With the backing of her agency Cloud9, the audition started soon after, on November 7th, with the cutoff date being the 20th. To be qualified, among other things, you had to reside in Japan, be a girl aged between 12 and 20, and shouldn't mind doing activities within a group or showing your face. But it didn't matter if you had no experience dancing or singing. Now here, one might ask, why would Ado of all people decide to produce an idol group? Well, Ado addresses that in her blog, which I'll get to in just a bit. On June 12th, 2024, Ado would post on her X account an image of what seems to be a moth. With no words or any explanation, fans seem to be a little confused. But 8 days later, on June 20th, unbeknownst to Ado's fans, an X account called Phantom Siita would be created, and the first post would be a picture of a similar looking moth. Over the course of the next 5 days on that account, they would post a small video showing someone doing the Japanese divination Kokuri-san, which is kind of similar to a Ouija board. In each video, someone dragged a coin to a particular hiragana character. Altogether, it would spell out Otomodachi. Although, strictly speaking, the coin went to ta instead of da in the fourth video, but never mind that. On June 25th, when the last video was posted, on Ado's account, she would repost the image of the moth she posted on June 12th. Then she posted a wilted flower and 5 butterfly emojis. A little later on, Ado would repost her announcement that she made back in October 31st, 2023 about being an idol producer. And then finally, fans came to understand what Ado was alluding to. She announces Phantom Siita, a retro horror concept-based idol group comprised of 5 members that she produced, and that their first single would be Otomodachi, the music video of which would be made public the next day at 7 PM, but the audio would be available from midnight. The next day, besides Phantom Siita making their debut, Ado would also update her blog, giving us a lot more insight. Around 4,000 people auditioned, after a screening process and 2 rounds of interviews, and then holding an assessment camp that lasted 4 days. These are the 5 she had chosen. Mona, whose member color is peach. Miyu, member color white. Rinka, member color purple. Hisui, member color green. And last but not least, Mocha, member color light blue. As for the deciding factor, Ado says that ultimately she focused on performance ability. She was looking for members that wouldn't let the vocal or music aspect stop them from being able to be expressive. Acknowledging that some may have been shocked by her initial announcement to do something like this, Ado says that she has wanted to be involved with producing since she was in high school. She goes on to say that she could have never imagined that her dream could have been made true in this kind of way, and that she was really happy that her imagination and creativity could be of benefit to someone. This is absolutely true. If you were chosen to be a part of an idol group produced by Ado, you would instantly have thousands upon thousands of people paying attention to you. And with Ado there to support you, you would be able to achieve heights within the entertainment industry you might never have thought possible. A life-changing opportunity for sure. Oh, and FYI, some fans suspect that the moth that both Ado and the Phantom Siita X account posted was the same one that briefly showed up in the Otomodachi music video. However, moth, or ga in Japanese, held a much stronger symbolic meaning to Phantom Siita than one might think. In fact, it's linked with their name. Phantom, aka Phantom, is, as we know, an apparition or the visual representation of a hallucination, while Siita is a combination of the scientific name of the butterfly Asagi Madara, which is Parantica sitta, and the scientific name of the moth Agehamodoki, which is Epicopea hainesi. I tried. This type of moth is also apparently known for mimicking swallowtail butterflies. Using butterflies as a metaphor for modern idols, Ado says that Phantom Siita is more like a moth, making them the heretics of the idol world. Ado writes, "They might seem strange to someone, refreshing to another, or even make someone feel nostalgia. These are no ordinary quote-unquote butterflies. They may be heretics, but I believe they will show everyone a completely new world that they've never seen before." Simply speaking, Ado chose the concept of retro horror because nobody else had done it before. She also wanted to make sure the concept had a strong Japanese element that may be familiar to some while having a broad global appeal. One thing that I think is important to note is that even though Phantom Siita aren't what you would consider to be a traditional idol group, Ado wants them to have that element that makes them worthy of saying they are idols. Even though you know they're scary, they're so frightening and beautiful, it makes you want to extend your hand to them. As you can tell, Ado took this idol project really seriously. FYI, the official name for the fans of Phantom Siita is Haine, which is also taken from that word I can't say really well, Epicopea Hainesi, which, according to Ado, is actually a French word pronounced as enu or enu and means something along the lines of hatred. Charming. As I mentioned earlier, the audio for Tomodachi was actually made available before the music video. This meant that your introduction to Phantom Siita was their voices, rather than combining it with any visuals, whereas typically for idols, visuals are more the initial focus point. A very clever and Ado-like move. Tomodachi showed off the group's impressive vocal skills, and the music video gave that eerie vibe as would be fitting of the concept retro horror, giving us a glimpse of what to expect from Phantom Siita. Through this video, they made it very clear that they weren't going to be your typical idols. Ado comments that everyone brings their own unique flavor to the group, and that actually they were all already good singers. For the recording of Tomodachi, she didn't even need to do that much directing, as they were already doing so well. Okay, so let's talk about the members a bit. First, Rinka. From when she was little, Rinka had always loved to dance and sing. In elementary school, she learned jazz dancing, and in middle school, break dancing. This explains a lot. She was actually the shy type, but she had no problem with dancing in front of people, regardless of how many there were. Because of this, Rinka thought that being an artist was the path most suited for her, but she couldn't bring herself to write that as her career aspiration. That's when she heard about Ado's audition, and knew she had to take it. Having released Usewa around the same age as Rinka, the appeal of being in a group produced by Ado was just too great. Similarly, Mona was also one who loved singing from a young age, and had this vague aspiration of doing a job singing. More specifically, she thinks of the time she sang with her friend on stage during their school's Bunkasai, aka Culture Festival. It was a really fun memory for her, so much so she remembers thinking that standing here on the stage maybe was the place that she was supposed to be. However, Mona believed the dream of her being an artist would just never become a reality, so she just kept those feelings to herself, never sharing them with anyone. That's when she heard about Ado's audition, and thought this actually might be her chance. Already being a fan of Ado, she had no doubts about auditioning. Mocha's story is also similar, loving to dance and sing from when she was small and actually had taken lessons. She also had similar aspirations of being an artist or an idol. She believed someone like Ado would produce a group full of expression in whatever they did, which was really attractive to her, making her want to take the audition. However, Miyu, unlike the other members, was a complete amateur when it came to singing and dancing. Not only that, she never had the aspiration to be an artist either. In fact, she says she spent a lot of time without any sort of aspiration at all. Wondering what she wanted to do in life, she became worried if she would find anything really worth living for. That's when she found out about Ado's audition. Miyu was not only a fan of Ado, she loved the culture of utaite and Vocaloid, and did have an appreciation for being able to express yourself through singing. Having taken an audition for the first time in her life, and now being a part of Phantom Siita, Miyu says that her life has now really started. Lastly, we have Hisui. Now, Hisui's reason for auditioning is actually quite different from the other members. From when she was little, she wanted to be in entertainment, whether it's being a singer, dancer, or even an actress or model. But there was something else she was also looking for, a place that could satisfy her interest in horror. That's why when she heard about this audition and the concept for the group being retro horror, she was instantly drawn to it, thinking that it would be within this group that her life could change, letting her be an idol that was different from the rest, and that could let her express herself in the way she was looking for. Now, initially, the faces of the members were still not explicitly shown, adding a sense of mystery to Phantom Siita. But I doubt anyone, not even the members themselves, could believe their next announcement. Not even a week after debuting, they would announce their first concert, the aptly named Haine, to take place on November 1st of that year, 2024. What was surprising though is that the venue would be the world-famous Nippon Budokan, a venue which even established groups and artists aspire to perform in. This definitely showed the power of having Ado as your producer. However, the girls didn't need to worry about getting any practice in, as they would serve as Ado's opening act for her national tour named Mona Lisa no Yokogao, which had a total of 18 shows. My god. On July 20th, Ado and Phantom Siita's X accounts would also formally reveal what the members looked like, as well as what their ages were. We also didn't need to wait long for Phantom Siita's second single, Kimi to Batsu 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 Shitai Dake. And yes, according to Ado, that's how you're supposed to say it. Although luckily there is an abbreviation, Kimi Batsu, the release of which on July 31st was also the same day Phantom Siita would make their first TV appearance on the daytime show Hirunandes, with lyrics and composition done by the Vocaloid producer and DJ Kikuo, and a music video that is both horrific and yet mesmerizing. Kimibatsu was a massive hit, and building on Otomodachi really showed what the group were capable of in terms of performance and expressing that retro horror vibe. In fact, I distinctly remember a number of reaction videos made about Kimibatsu's music video, which most likely got them more reach overseas too, all according to Keikaku. But it didn't stop there. A few weeks later, on August 19th, the group would perform at that year's Odaiba Boken O, an annual summer event hosted by Fuji Television. Within their set, they would sing their unreleased third single, Mashou Shoujo, which would see its official release soon after on August 28th. The music video for Mashou Shoujo, or its official English title Devilish Girl, initially throws fans off as it seems like they're a completely different group. But in true Phantom Siita style, the horror would soon unfold. August 28th would also be the day they announced their first album, Shoujo no Hi no Omoide, that was released on October 30th. To say these girls have been busy is putting it lightly, as over the course of the next couple of months, before the release of Shoujo no Hi no Omoide, they would put out 3 more singles, Hanabami, Otome Shinju, and Zoku Zoku. One thing I think is important to note is that similar to Ado, Phantom Siita's songs each have a big Vocaloid producer behind them. No doubt, another benefit of having Ado as your producer. Besides their official music videos, Phantom Siita has also put out a lot of different content on their YouTube channel, like behind the scenes footage and even reaction videos from the members themselves. Be sure to check those out. The train just keeps on going for Phantom Siita. After doing their concert Haine in the Nippon Budokan, at the time of making this video, they're currently on their first world tour, Moth to a Flame. Try to catch them if you can. One thing that Ado mentioned about Phantom Siita is that she wants them to be truly representative of idols from Japan. My guess is that she hopes they can show the world what idols from Japan can really do, especially as currently Korean idols seem to be more popular worldwide. I'm really excited to see more from this group, and I wish them all the success in the world. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much. I have been wanting to cover Phantom Siita for a little while now, but there wasn't that much information about them initially, so I kind of wanted to wait a bit. Now we know a little bit more about them, and I think they're fantastic. I really like their concept, and I do hope they become more popular overseas and can travel the world more and can hopefully show what idols from Japan can really do. And I'm really happy that I got to talk about Ado again. I actually had a lot of fun making the Ado video. Actually quite a big fan of her right now, so I was really happy to be able to talk about something Ado related again, and hopefully I can make another video on Ado maybe in the future. I don't know at the moment, but anyway, thank you again guys for watching. If you do have any other suggestions, please let me know in the comments below. Take care guys, peace, bye.